Hey everybody, it's Dak here, and welcome to our tutorial on our fully automatic sugarcane farm. This clip in the very beginning is going to be a little laggy because my computer cannot fully take this massive farm you're looking at, but it is scaled up pretty high, and let's get right into the tutorial. What you're seeing here is the final version of the farm I would be using. You can make it bigger or smaller, and if you look in this chest, you will see that I do have that number counting up right now, and it is basically just consistently counting. Right now I only have one chain of hoppers connecting into the chest, so it's going pretty much as fast as the hoppers can place it in there, which is just over 9,000 per hour right now. So I'm really happy with the results, and like I said a second ago, this is completely scalable. You can make it way smaller or way bigger, whatever size you want for however much sugarcane per hour you want. Alright guys, so there's going to be two parts to this tutorial, and here we will have the first part, which is how the redstone works. You're going to need redstone, redstone repeater, redstone comparator, redstone block, pistons, hoppers, all that stuff right there. So first off, take your hoppers and place them so they are attached to each other, like this. That way they will just be putting items into each other. Go ahead and put a redstone block on top of one of them, and then one stone brick on either side. Afterward, you can go ahead and grab your pistons, place one piston on each of the stone brick, and that's what it should look like right now. Now go ahead and take out your redstone comparators, place one attached to each of the hoppers, and make sure that they can read the items in the hoppers, so the two torch sides should be touching them. And go ahead and extend each of the signals in a circle, touching the nearest piston. Do this on each side. You'll see me turn around and do it here. So far it's a pretty compact little contraption we're making here. And afterward, you're going to want to take your 46 dirt and put it in one of the hoppers. You'll see it started counting and it turned on that redstone comparator because it can read some of the dirt going into the second hopper there. So what happens is when this all fills up, you'll see it all happen in a second. The piston will push that redstone block to the other side, and what the redstone block does, there it goes, is stops one of the hoppers from putting the dirt back so that it can put all 46 dirt from one hopper to the other and then back. And what that does is that keeps switching the signals back and forth here, and by itself it just pushes this redstone block back, but it also creates two separate signals that get one quick redstone charge every like 20 seconds or so. So if I build one there, then you'll see the charge would go through there once it hit the piston. And if I go to this side, it'll do the same thing there. So you can get two separate signals. I'll just break them for now. But you can do basically anything you want. This is what I would call a redstone clock. Alright, so now that we have the redstone contraption or the redstone clock set up, I'm going to extend the circuit a little bit and put a repeater on there so that we can use the circuit to our advantage. And then we're going to build the rest of the contraption here, the rest of the sugarcane farm. So once I will be using the second side here in a little while. I believe that I will use both sides just in this tutorial, but you can just use one side, it'll work the same. And now what I'm placing on here is where the pistons are going to go. What these pistons do is there's going to be sugarcane right next to them, and once it grows to too tall, not once it grows, but once the clock decides to shoot the signal, the pistons will push forward and then go back just for a split second. And as long as the sugarcane is too tall, it'll be pushing the top one off into a row of hoppers, which will put it in the chest. So you can see that this is a pretty basic design. I'm just creating a quick line of redstone here that will be charging the pistons. That way they can push the sugarcane. And you see me place a repeater here because every 15 blocks or every 16th block, you have to put a repeater so that the redstone circuit can reach all the way. That's how you can make it even larger, is you can go way further down, or you can build next to each other or on top of each other, however you need. And as long as you use repeaters, then you can just keep making the signal longer and longer and put as many pistons as you want. So I do this on both sides, and I'll be putting the pistons here again and making the same redstone line that I did on the first one. It'll be a little off because I do use the second side of the clock, and the repeaters won't be in the exact same spot, but it doesn't matter as long as your redstone is hitting all of your pistons. So I attach that there, and then like I was just saying, I build this second little redstone line, and after that, we will be putting the actual sugarcane part into effect, and that's what you're all here for, so you should be excited for that. I do have a little counting problem here and making sure that I don't screw it up the first time and have to go back and rebuild it. So this sugarcane farm is one of many designs out there. I have not really looked up any designs. I thought of this myself, but I also don't think I was the first to think of it. I still haven't actually checked it out. I just know this works. So this is not, I don't think it's my original design. I could check it out, but I'm pretty sure someone else has come up with it. What you see me doing here is actually very important. Let me interrupt myself. Those stone blocks that I put in there next to the repeater on top of that block will not charge a piston under it, so you do not need a piston right there. I highly suggest putting those stone blocks like I did a second ago. That way, you can make sure that the sugarcane cannot land on that little area, and it just adds more efficiency so that there's less area for it to land on and more hoppers for it to hit. Now I'm putting this line of hoppers here, and on top of that, in a second, you'll see me place some water with my water bucket. And the hoppers, well, the water's needed because sugarcane needs to sit next to a water block for it to grow. And the hoppers are under the water because the pistons will be pushing the sugarcane into the water, and that's where the hoppers will suck them up and put them into the chest. So now I place the rest of the water, and right here I'm going to start planting the sugarcane. Sugarcane should be easy to get. You can find it growing next to little ponds and lakes and whatnot on sand and on grass. So if you haven't ever found sugarcane, you're going to need to go find some in the wild first before you can plant it here. And you do need a decent amount of sugarcane to start, but sugarcane's pretty easy to grow a half stack of. And that's basically your farm, guys. That's going to do it for you. But also, what I'm going to do here in a second is add iron bars to the middle. All this does is when it shoots the sugarcane and it pushes it over the stream of water, it won't launch it too far and land on the other side. It'll now hit the iron bars and just fall straight down in the hoppers. This just adds a little bit of efficiency. That way you're not losing. With this design, I think it was like 98% of the sugarcane made it into the hoppers. So you're really not losing any sugarcane here. And if you make it massive anyway, you're gonna need all the you're gonna have all the sugarcane you need. So there's the design. It's already doing its thing. Sugarcane has not grown yet because it does take a minute to start growing. Once it does, it will be breaking it off and putting it into the chest that we already placed over here, and I will wait to watch that and show you guys when that happens. And there goes one sugarcane landing in the chest. It is only one in a couple minutes. That's because we not only have a really small section of the farm, but we just planted the sugarcane, and it always takes a minute or two to begin harvesting or to begin growing, excuse me. So eventually this little section would speed up by itself, but also if you built more, there'd be a lot more sugarcane being put in. The version that you saw at the beginning, I was getting 9,000 per hour, just over that, and it was working great. It was a perfect amount of sugarcane that I needed, and extremely efficient. I never had to check it. It's completely scalable. You can always build it further out and taller, longer, whatever you need. Also, you only need one redstone clock no matter what. You can just keep the circuit attached to that one clock. It'll always do what you need it to do. All right, there you have it, everybody. There is our fully automatic sugarcane farm tutorial. I really hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and drop us a like and a comment, maybe a share and a favorite. Join the cul-de-sac by clicking on that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at @theedboys. All links are in the description.